Hello and welcome to Boss United FM. In this video, we will look back on our successful first live stream season. You can catch me on Tuesday nights and Saturday afternoons on twitch.tv/Boss United FM. Why not head on over there and follow me? Let's do a review of the season. If we start from the very beginning of the season, let's just have a look at the friendly results. We scored quite a few goals in pre-season, sticking 7 past both Boston Town and Spalding, drawing a blank at Peterborough Sports, but then back in the goals against Basford. A nice win over Harrogate, our only higher division team we played, and then a formality of a win against Gainsborough 3-0, which led us into that first day of the season away at Guiseley, which thankfully we won 2-0. Followed it up with a 2-1 over Hereford, but then had a little bit of an inconsistent rest of August. However, September started off really well, 3 victories on the bounce, advancing in the FA Cup away at Stafford, 3-1. And then as we continued into October, another couple of victories in the Cup, especially away at South Shields by 7-2. Jordan Fulis with a hat-trick. This came a few days after drawing 4-4 with Curzon, where Fulis actually scored all 4 goals. The big game in the first round of the Cup was away at Yeovil, which we managed to win 2-0. Bit of an upset, they were riding high in the conference at the time. However, we then went out away at Aldershot, who were struggling in the league above. Just before then, we did suffer a disappointing defeat at home to Kings Lynn. December started off with a bit of a cracker, but then a disappointing defeat away at Whitby in the FA Trophy. We had a very good January, just the 1 loss to Kettering. We continued our unbeaten run into February as we continued our title challenge at the top of Vanarama North. Important wins over Brackley and Alfreton, but then we suffered a defeat away at Gloucester, who were just on the edge of a promotion campaign. But that's when we kicked into gear and we actually won the last 5 games of the season, including the last 4 without even conceding a goal. We therefore won the title on the last day of the season. We only needed a point because we were 3 points clear going into that last day. And thankfully Jordan Fulis and Scott Garner scored the goals to win us the promotion. If we take a look at the table, there we have it, finishing top of the league, 6 points clear of Kidderminster. Darlington in 3rd place, Gloucester 4th, Hereford, Blyth and Kings Lynn completing the playoff lineup. If we scroll down to the bottom, Guiseley actually finished rock bottom, 3 points clear of Chester in 20th, and then Curzon Ashton also joining them in relegation. If we take a quick look at the playoffs, in the first round of the playoffs, Gloucester got through against Kings Lynn on penalties, and Hereford beat Blyth. In the semis, Kidderminster beat Gloucester 2-0, and Hereford continued their good form with a win at Darlington. And in the all-important final, Kidderminster secured the victory by just 1-0 against Hereford, and they'll join us in the National League. If we take a look at our season summary, Fans Player of the Year went to Jordan Fulis with 38%. Not too far behind was Nicky Walker with 30%, and then Scott Garner on 20%. If we take a look at the goal of the season, which went to Martin Wolford early on in September. So Walker brings the ball forward, crosses with his right foot to Wolford, takes a touch, takes another touch, and then absolutely spanks it into the top corner. You can see why that won goal of the season. That was a 3-0 victory fairly early on in the season. Signing of the season went to Ricky Miller, who we brought in on a free transfer. If we take a look, he did score 8 goals in 16 starts, which is a pretty good record. He's going to stay with us this season as well in the National League. It was a season where Jordan Fulis didn't start off very well, but then suddenly came into goals. Brought Ricky Miller in, he hit the ground running. We played them both in the same team together, usually with Fulis out on the right wing. But in the end it came up trumps. Young Player of the Season was Peter Clark, someone who we signed as a 16-year-old and actually got himself into the team fairly early on, especially in the cup competitions where he scored a couple of goals. If we take a look at the statistics, top goal scorer was Jordan Fulis on 22 goals. Highest average rating Andy Fanodge, who scored 2 or 3 wonderful free kicks during the season, but was definitely our expert deep line playmaker in the middle. Most assists Nicky Walker, that's not a surprise, taking quite a few corners, usually headed in by Scott Garner. Best pass completion was Jordan Nicholson, who we had on loan from Hereford. He's unfortunately gone back to them at the end of the season. He did play across the free in attacking midfield. Most player of the match awards shared by Fulis and Walker with 6 each. And then Matt Challoner, the fullback, getting 12 yellow cards, being our most yellow carded player. Only Nicky Walker and Brad Abbott picking up red cards, which I believe were both for second yellows. So if we have a look at other competitions elsewhere in England, Manchester City won the league by 11 points from Liverpool. Arsenal and Manchester United finishing in the Champions League spots. Southampton, West Ham and Crystal Palace all got relegated. If we go down to the Championship, Fulham and West Brom both finished on 82 points, 2 clear of Birmingham, but it's the first 2 of those teams that get promoted. Nottingham Forest in 6th place then won the playoffs. Luton, Barnsley and Bristol City all got relegated. Sunderland and Ipswich got automatically promoted from League One, and then Coventry joined them by winning the playoffs. Burton, Rochdale and Tranmere were relegated. Burton are our parent club. We're now only going to be 1 division below them. If we go into League 2, Bradford won the league, Crawley and Salford getting the automatic spots behind them, and then Mansfield winning the playoffs. Dropping into non-league is Carlisle. In the National League, which is the division we're going to be in next season, Notts County were champions, 7 points clear of Yeovil, but it was then Barnet who won at Wembley in the promotion final. Dropping out of the National League are Eastleigh, Woking and Stockport. Just a quick look at the European competitions, as FC Bayern drew with Barcelona in the final, but then it was Barcelona that won it on penalties. If we just scroll back through and see where the English clubs finished, so Liverpool lost to Bayern in the semi-finals, Barcelona got through against Dortmund. Check out the quarter-finals where Manchester City went out to Barcelona, Chelsea went out to Borussia Dortmund. And then in the first knockout round, Chelsea beat PSG, Liverpool beat Napoli, and City went through against Juventus. Looking at the Europa League, and it was Eintracht Frankfurt that beat Arsenal on penalties in the final. Look at the semi-final, Arsenal got through against Lazio after 2 0-0 draws. And in the quarter-finals, Manchester United lost to Lazio. Taking a look at Euro 2020, England won their group, winning all 3 games against Sweden, Serbia and Greece. Let's see how they got on in the knockout rounds. In the second round, England beat Turkey, 3-1. In the quarters, England then went out to Spain by 4-1 at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome. Just have a quick look at the semis, where Germany lost to Portugal, and Spain continued their good form with a win against Italy. And then in the final, Spain won against Portugal. Overall, very much a fantastic season for Boston. Winning the league in the first season, getting promotion back into the Vanarama National, winning it on the last day of the season away at Kings Lynn. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to catch me on twitch.tv/BossUnitedFM.